Don't worry, there's nothing wrong with the Peterbilt. When I went to order the air filters for the truck, I didn't realize that they had 2 of those. So Dad's actually picking up that filter right now in Selma, so whenever he gets back, she'll be ready to hit the road. But guess what today is, guys? It is Valentine's Day. It is Wednesday, February the 14th, and my name is Daniel, and you're watching Triple R Farms, and here's kind of what we got on tap for today. I don't know a lot, but I'll tell you what I do know. So I do know that me and Dad are going to be working on the Unverferth liquid fertilizer rig. We're going to be getting those brackets of where we're going to be spraying right over the row. We're going to get those brackets lined up dead over the row and get them tightened and locked down. So the only thing left to do is just get, when the nozzle parts come in, we're ready to put those on, then we're ready to put some water in it, we're ready to try it. So me and Dad are going to be working on that this morning. James, he's going to be working on the F250. I think they kind of figured out what may be wrong with it, so I think he's going to be working on that this morning. And I've got this part right here for the CP690. It's a little breather. I've got to put that on, and then we'll jump on the Unverferth rig. But that's kind of all I know right now, but I did want to clear up a couple things that I did not mention in the last video. So in the last video, I told everybody that I was going to let them know how many inches of rain that we got, because we had a lot of rain that last time, and we ended up getting about 5.5 inches of rain. Yeah, that's a lot of water. And we probably had some more damage on all our culverts and all our crossings on our roads. If you remember, we had another episode where we got about 5.5, 6 inches of rain, and really did a lot of damage, blowing out some culverts and roads. So I'm sure this did some more damage. So we will have a lot of road work to do when it gets dry. And then the other thing, I think a lot of people got confused because in our earlier video, I kind of went through the crops and told kind of what we were planting and what we were not. And I did say that we were not planting any cotton, but I said at this time all that can change, and it did. The cotton prices have gone up in the market, and they keep going up, and they're getting to the area where we think we can make some pretty good money on it. So we're going to be adding cotton back into the program. So we will have pretty good amount of acres, a lot more than we had last year in cotton. So I know a lot of people were confused. If we weren't planting any cotton, why are we doing all this work in the videos on the cotton picker? So that is why. So we are planting cotton. And then the last thing I'm going to update y'all on is we are getting ready to do a lot of spraying and what we call our burn down. What is burn down? That's when we go out there and we do a pre-planting spraying on all our fields, on our farms. And I try to do a lot of it with the Rogator, but as you can tell, we are really wet. So every year I do some of it with my Rogator, what I can, and then the rest will be done with the airplane with Gentry. We'll be putting out some chemical to do a contact kill on grasses and anything that's up above ground. We'll have some chemical to kill that, and then we'll also have a chemical to give us some residual that will go down in the ground. Rain will wash it in, and it'll keep any weeds and some of the grasses from coming up. Give us about a 30-day window, so it'll be nice and clean when we come in there to plant. So we will be doing some of that. I don't know if we'll get that to it in this video, but you may see the airplane flying in this video. But whenever it does dry up, you will see some videos of us getting out there with Rogator. But yeah, that pretty much wraps up the update. Hope I cleared up some questions y'all had. And if y'all want to do me a favor, click that thumb. It means you like the video. We really appreciate if y'all would do that. I always do it at the end. I never do it at the beginning. But yeah, it's time to get this video started. Turning. Get out of there. There she is. Oh gosh, it's tight up in here. I don't know if I mentioned this, but this is a breather for the fuel tank. And I see why it was broke off. It's supposed to go right there. But to get that hose to fit directly over there, it's gonna be in the air, and we do a lot of crawling back in here to clean out. And you're gonna crawl over this hose, and when you do, you're gonna mash it down, and that's gonna break it off. So I guarantee you that's how it got broke off. I think I'm just gonna screw it in, and I think we're just gonna zip tie it somewhere over here, doing the same thing. We'll do one more. Okay, she's done. Mark it off the list. All right, and tell them what you did. How we're gonna mark the rows.
Well, I got the center, and I got the marks dead center of the row.
So this is right where a row is gonna be. He's got a mark on the floor. What we're trying to do is get this pipe right here lined up dead on the row. So he's moving this pipe. This is not gonna be there, it's gonna be this tall, but that's how we try to get it right over the row. Adding this pipe, then we take it loose, go to the next one. She's straight. Why do we have two marks right here?
Because the center line wasn't quite center.
Taking the nozzles out. Time to get the rogator ready to spray. I'm gonna take all the nozzles out. He blows them out, cleans them up. He'll put them right back on. So we're ready to go. It's getting close to burn down time. What are we doing to the F-250? What was wrong with it?
Wasn't firing on 6, 7, and 8. So we changing spark plugs to start with. Which it hadn't had a tune-up since I bought it, as far as I know. Truck got 200, how many? 200, over 200,000.
220. Know what you're doing, James?
Yeah, good.
Oh, okay. That's it. So what me and Dad are going to do now is we're going to go through the planters out here. Now we had Vantage South. They went through all our V-drive row units, and got them all calibrated basically to 100% singulation, or the best they could. They put the corn plates and everything, singulators, they put all that in both planters. So the corn planters, the two planters, I can't talk, should be ready to go with corn. But I'm gonna take off each hopper and just open them up, take the cover off, just take a peek down in there at the C plate and singulator, just to make sure that each hopper is ready to go, has everything it needs for corn, just so I'll know 100% that when I bring a tractor out here to hook to it, we're ready to go. Alright, so here's all my parts that I may need. And what I'm gonna do is make sure, number one, we got corn plate in there, which we do. Then I'm gonna make sure, let's pull this clip. Get the corn plate off. Just make sure we got an injector. Main thing is I want to look at this gasket right here. Make sure it looks okay. Then the next thing is we're going to look at these brushes, make sure they look all good. And then make sure we got the corn singulator in there. And so this one looks like it's good to go. Now we got 23 more to do. I don't think he's gonna make it. Well, that's one way to get your truck out of here, but he made it. The planters. We are good to go on planting corn. Went through all 24 hoppers, and as I suspected, they were all ready to go. Vantage South did a good job. Everything was in there that needed to be in there. Everything looked good. Put them all back on. So if we needed to plant corn tomorrow, just for my sake, I know we can hook to them and we can go. Could be the computer. John Brown. Well, I'm getting a little late start today. Thomas, my son, he's in 4th grade and they had a play today. Apparently it's their last play of the year before next year they move up to the upper school. He's at the lower school now. Pretty important play, what I'm hearing. So we went and saw that, and now I'm just getting to the farm. F-250, if you heard that, she's not having a good day. Got the spark plugs in, didn't solve the situation, so we're still investigating on that. We're gonna get the Landau disc. We're gonna get them out here in the open, and James is gonna go through and grease them, get them good and greased, ready to go, because if we miss that rain Friday and Saturday, then we ought to be down at Gray Rocks with both Landau disc, and we're also gonna grease the J&M rolling basket. We'll have all 3 of those implements ready to go next week, so hopefully we'll be getting out in the field next week. But I'm gonna help James get them hooked up and all and folded out. They're already greased.
Really?
Huh?
Yeah.
Who did it?
Me and Philip, we stopped. You know, we had stopped a little early, and you told us supposed to come home, greased up everything. So that we
Yeah,
did,
that
catch
was
up
on
everything. And we ain't went to Central Field no since.
All right.
Mark that off. Yeah, there's fresh grease.
Mark was running trying to get through. Catch up with that man.
We're gonna do the rolling basket.
Yeah.
The 310, we are gonna unhook it. The speed disc, what it's hooked to now, that was going to Lounsboro, and to finish up the little job we had up there. But what's first on the list is going to be Gray Rocks, so we'll need both Landau disc down there with the J&M rolling basket. This right here, the Lounsboro job, will be the second one. So we're gonna unhook and get it hooked up to the Landau. So all 3 of these tractors will be ready to go first of next week. One thing I'm gonna do to these Landau's before they leave, last time they were plowing up there at Lounsboro, I noticed one of them was plowing a little bit deeper, so I wanna get a measurement right here. This is how you adjust the depth. And the little numbers and all that you usually read on this one, you can read a little bit, but on the other one, they've rubbed off and all. So I'm gonna get a measurement from here down that rod to get a true measurement of where they are. And I'm gonna try to match them up. So hopefully they'll be plowing the same depth. Alright, so that one is 52 3/4. Raise it up and I'll adjust this rod. That one's definitely plowing just a little bit deeper, so we're gonna put this one at 52 1/4. Alright, maybe go this way. Yeah. Alright, right there. Now I know I'm gonna get some comments about the size of the blades. Will make a big difference on how deep the disc is plowing. I do acknowledge that, and I know this one has, the blades are a little bit smaller than the one that James just left with. But I just wanted to get the cylinder stops, get that depth part the same on each disc, which I did with the 52 1/4. So we'll start from there. Cylinder stops on each one will be the same, and then we're just gonna have to put an eyeball on it. Once we get them out in the field, we'll walk behind each disc and see how they're discing, and kind of measure the depth and all of what it's actually doing out in the field. And if we have to make adjustments, we'll do it at Grey Rocks. Love it. So who wants an update on the white F250? Put all new spark plugs in it, and that did not fix the problem. Still doing the same sputting and putting. When you crank it up, it's acting like it's just misfiring, just popping. And so that did not work. So the next step is we're gonna replace the coils on the motor. Which Dad, he's gonna go by Napa and grab those on the way to Grey Rocks, and he's gonna grab James, and and they're gonna come back, and that's gonna be all for them. In the meantime, I'm gonna go over here in the valley and hook to the corn head, get it out of the hay barn, and move it down to the seed house. The reason I'm doing that is we're gonna start parking all our harvest equipment, combines, cotton pickers and stuff. We're gonna start parking them over there in the hay barn like we used to, because apparently the rats are just having a field day on all our harvest equipment. They are just eating all the wires on everything, causing all kind of chaos. So we think they'll do less damage over here in the valley under the hay barn, where there's no soybean seed, grain, you know, nothing really for them to feed on except our electrical wires. Before I hook to the corn header, we've had some torrential downpours. The last rain event, like I said, we got 5.5 inches. I have not come over here in the valley since that rain. I was kind of letting it just dry out before I came over here, so I didn't mess up any more roads. But before that 5.5, we had another 5.5, which did a lot of damage to our roads and culverts. So while we're over here, before we hook up to the corn header, let's go take a peek at it, see what kind of damage we got. Well, this one's not bad. It's got a little issue right here. This one looks fine. Now this one right here, this is the one I'm a little bit worried about. This is the one that looked so bad last time. This side's okay. That's the side I'm worried about. Good gosh. Jeez. All the gravel is all down there, which we can salvage a lot of that. Get Wayne over here with the Komatsu loader with his bucket and either push it or try to scoop it up and bring it all back this way. There's the road. It's all over there. No gravel. Goodness. Hadn't seen anything that we can't fix. That's the good thing. We're still all right. This one looks okay. Rarely do we have trouble with this one because we got 3 giant culverts. But it is a lot of water that comes down through here. I do see some damage where it jumped. Came around this curve, and looked like it jumped the road, washed out the road. We'll take a look at it. This one looks okay though. Yeah, here's what happened here. You can just imagine this ditch was full of water. You can see all the trash was all the way up high as the bank. And she just came right across here. Goodness. Cut some pretty big gullies right through here. Look at all that rock out in the field. Okay, so we're coming up on Hilltop right here. Oh boy, where'd the road go? Goodness. Man, I did not think we had a problem right here. Whoa. Golly. Look where all that water ran. My goodness. Man, all this water came all through here. Look at all this. Look at all that sand. Wow, that was a lot of water. Golly, it just came all through here. Hey. Okay, I'm kind of figuring out what it did now. This is the road we built up real high. And basically this acted like a levee, because all this water is coming down this way. And it basically just acted like a dam. And the water came all down through here. And that's where she went, all the way to my truck, way down there. Man, I had no idea that much water was gonna come through here. Culvert's right here. Looks like a little bit came across right here. But still, the majority of it went that way. Well, we got a little blowout right here, which I figured that was gonna happen. All this dirt that we piled up on each side. I mean, grass hadn't grown on it yet. And nothing's really holding the dirt together. That's fine, we can fix that. This will get better and better once we fill it in and the grass grows on it. But, whew, our road used to be right there. It's still intact somewhat. Well, let's just say the damage is not as bad as I thought it was going to be, so I guess that's a good thing. Could have been a lot worse. It always could have been a lot worse, so thank goodness it wasn't. But as for this video, guys, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. Really appreciate y'all watching our videos. Really thank y'all for doing that and sticking with us. But I only ask two things from you. You probably know what those two things are if you watch our channel. If you want to hit the thumb, that means you like the video. That really helps us out. But if you didn't like the video, don't worry about hitting the thumb. Then the other thing is the Triple R Farms logo over here. If you have not subscribed to our channel, if you'll just click that, it'll walk you through subscribing. We'll really appreciate it if you did that. Other than that, guys, that's going to be it for this one. So, you guessed it. See y'all on the next one, guys. We're out.